WiLD Questions. I'm Sabbath Kapahu, and this is the moment we take each week to have the conversations we know are important, but we don't always talk about. This is about the stories that matter behind the questions we ask. I'm joined by my friend, colleague, and CEO of WiLD Leaders, Dr. Rob McKenna. And Dr. Rob McKenna, I am going to start out our time together today by bringing up a little image that I found on the internet, and I
Oh,
want to get your response to this. So this is the WiLD Leaders team. Can you see it?
I can see it. I can see it.
And it looks like you guys are ready to take over the world, perhaps. Pretty
Okay,
intense.
it's funny. It's funny that you're asking for my reaction because you picked it because I know that this is the cover of that article that we wrote. And so makes me laugh
Like,
though.
who are you on the hunt for? That's the big question.
Well, it's a developmental hunt, right? So what cracks me up about this picture, first of all, Daniel's got that 1,000-yard stare,
Yeah.
right? He's like something's going on off in the far distance. Claire is gonna like chew you up if you don't start developing your leader capacity right now.
Right.
Megan's gonna laugh a little bit about it. And what's hilarious about that's Megan Lawrence, and then Megan Russell is the like nicest, most executive presence you've ever met. So it's crazy. Like I don't know. That's an awesome face look on her face. So anyway, and I'm
Okay.
just back there trying to back him up. I don't know. We're nice people. And Sabbath, when I'm just imagining what your face is going to look like, this next picture.
All right. Today we want to talk about what does it look like to move from technical skills to people skills. So the question that we're talking about and the story behind it is, how do I move from technical skills to people skills? You wrote an article this week called 10 Tips for Moving from Technical Expertise to Leadership Expertise. So why does this matter to you? Rob, Dr. McKenna, why does this matter to you?
Why does this matter to me? This matters to me a lot, Sabbath. I think what's interesting is it's not just I'm a software developer and now I become a manager of people, or I'm an engineering type and I do that. Those things are absolutely true. But over the years, I have worked with so many different people who were trained in or are professionals in some area. And it doesn't matter whether they were people working in the trades, plumbers and electricians, or whether it was doctors or attorneys, or people, that were trained in in music or some sort of other specific area of expertise. There comes this moment where most of us realize, okay, now I'm leading people either who had my same expertise or who have something even more broad than that. And so I guess it matters to me because you live long enough and you have a certain conversation over and over and over again. This is one of those conversations. Like my brother-in-law is a podiatrist. And I remember the moment where he started getting launched in because he's a good leader. They saw that capacity. And so then he gets launched into, in a whole healthcare system into leadership roles. So it does not matter what area you studied in or were trained in or sort of developed in career-wise. For most of us, that moment comes. And so that's why I think for us, developing that leader expertise and providing, what it is that we do from our area of expertise alongside that discipline, that skill, or whatever it is that you are deeply trained in, it matters. I mean, it just goes on and on. Accountants, you know what I mean? It's like, you name it. So that's why it matters to me. It's a common human experience and a necessity for understanding what does it mean to lead people? What does it mean to be an expert in a certain area and a skill set? And where do those things cross?
Yeah. And there's even the reality that I've lived with personally where you are let's take a copy machine technician, and at the same time that you're dealing with the technical skills, you're managing all the people that are around you that you might not even work with but happen to be in the office that you're working in. And
So true.
it becomes leading those people so that you can get your job done.
So true. So true. Yeah. Good.
So on Friday for the WiLD conversation, we have and in this article that you just wrote on
Mhm.
our website that we'll put the link to in the description of this video so that you can read it. There is a list of 10 things that will help you as you're moving from technical skills to people skills. What are the things to focus on? But I want to challenge us because we're in this wild question space to choose one. What is one of those things out of the list of 10 that you want to touch on? I know it's hard, but
Okay. Are you gonna pick one
yeah,
too?
I'll pick
All
one too.
right.
I can, yeah, I was gonna say I could list all 10 and then we can choose one, but I'm not even gonna list the 10. I'm gonna
So,
say
so much
choose one.
mystery. So much mystery out there. It's hard. It's like I just wrote this, and so it's like I don't know why they feel like my children already. So how can I pick one? It doesn't seem right to do that.
Yeah,
Okay. Here's one. They're so good. I'm just excited for Friday that people would be inspired into this. I'm gonna pick number 9.
okay.
It really is hard to pick because there's so many. And this one's called "Productivity Will No Longer Be Measured by Work Produced." Productivity, like your progress, and getting it done, and even your performance, will no longer be measured by simply by work produced. And one of the things that is so interesting is that work produced still matters. Like getting widgets done or getting those forms completed and submitted or products sold matters. One of the big things that happens is for people who transition from that's what they were responsible for, but now I'm responsible for people, is that now instead of it being my metrics, I'm responsible for their metrics. And so it's so there's a very different level of inspiration and motivation when it's like with the last line of this says your productivity will now be measured by the productivity of others as much as your own. Which is just, it opens up this whole new world of like, okay, so now what does that mean? Well, what that means is let's get into leader development.
Yeah,
It's like let's get into what that means. So
yeah.
that's the one that popped out for me.
It's so good. You know what? And I'm gonna share because we're not gonna give all 10. And actually, I want to choose number 8. Um, there is so many things at the top of this article, even before you get to the list of 10, that are so rich.
Hmm.
But I'm in this personal space of exactly what's happening now. Experience will teach you to lead. Sometimes I feel underqualified because I haven't experienced I the thought in my mind is I haven't experienced yet. So how can I lead this? And I love what you said here. The experience of trying to lead other people well is the training ground for deepening your expertise at it. We're not going to show up
Yeah.
having all of it figured out, but the
Yeah.
experience and stepping into the reality that this is a this is people leadership now. These are people skills, and I'm have to grow at it in this space of intentionality of not it's not just the technical skill anymore. It's the people that are surrounding me. So I'm going to choose number 8. Experience will teach you to lead. Uh,
Mm,
Click the
mhm,
link below to grab the article where you'll get all 10 and some really impactful truths even before you get to the list of 10. Uh,
mhm.
Dr. Rob, what is the story? What is one story behind why this matters?
Mm. One story behind one that's a good question. I have a hard time picking one. Um, I don't know, Sab, but I'm not going to answer your question very well. I'm gonna pick one more and say that here's a good thing that you started with. If we could come full circle.
Okay.
Number 5, I'm cheating. Technical problems are people problems. And you kind of mentioned this at the beginning, and it's this is kind of an awareness thing where people don't I don't think most of us are really aware of this. We get so buried in trying to get something done, but we've never realized or been given permission to or been invited to think about, okay, this isn't really about the technical part. I know like you may know how to do your job or you may have what it takes to figure it out and maybe figure it out together, But the biggest barrier we so often face is we don't know how to have a conversation with somebody else to get it done. And there's all, whether it's politics or a hard conversation or just someone else isn't seems resistant to just even just, can I jump on a call with you because I'm not sure how to get this done on my own, or we feel like maybe they own it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, and we just, and so that it's such a lie that we tell, that it's the technical thing that's the biggest barrier. Sometimes it is, right? But and so let's integrate.
Yeah.
Let's bring it together. Um yeah. So I don't know if that's
Yeah,
that's what came
that's
to
good.
mind. Yeah.
The story is there is some lies that we tell ourselves that make it difficult to get.
Yeah.
That's deep. Man, I
Yeah.
was that's deep. All right. So join us on Friday at the WiLD Conversation. We're going to dig into this article. We're going to dig into some people that are experiencing this in their leadership roles right now. And it's going to be a rich conversation, as always, with a community of uh, leaders in process from all around the world. So, so good. Don't miss it. And I'm going to leave us with a wild question just to think about as we end our wild questions today, picked from our deck. Ooh, what would change if you knew why you are here and what you should do next?